25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's Mixon on the counter. And an alley to run. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Started the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous.
Now Joe Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
16 yards, a first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Mixon with a first down carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's complete to Diggs. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
First down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
52's the mic right here over there.
Easy.
First down, defense.
Gurley. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down at Stafford. The quick feet by Jackson. That's caught by Jackson. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Gano the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The throw right sideline here is complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. From the 40 now on second down. Stafford. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
52. Watch 52. 52's the mic.
Hey.
On first down, it's Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. 38 yards on the scamper there.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
No gain on the play there. Second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He's got Green. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 1.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Trubisky. Airing one deep for Curse. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Come on, guys. We got this.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the screen. Pass.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Zero. Rush in. Hey, easy. 59. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Target.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
22.
On first down, Stafford here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know it.
Now Trubisky lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And some room to work. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
22. Omaha, ready to move.
On second and inches, Stafford toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Back to the workhorse today, it's Gurley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Todd Gurley with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano for the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by one more.
Makes the score Dolphins 31, Cowboys nothing. Graham Gano set to kick off.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is. And this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game. So you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On first down, Trubisky. And Diggs has it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 38-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing here, Trubisky. Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now a draw play for Gurley. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And able to find Dorsett. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, Haywood.
Stafford now to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This is fielded at the goal line. A nice little juke. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Mike, check.
Now Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now it's Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Gurley. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game, and however it turns out, it turns out.
2nd and 9. At the 20-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing here, Stafford. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. On third down, Trubisky. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
Hey, Orbit.
We got a plane to catch.
Let's get in there. Let's get in there, Hal. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39.
I'm here.
Here's Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing.